There are calls on the political left and the Democrats to tax billionaires, have a wealth tax. Would that stuff be productive and maybe close the wealth and income gap?
Well, I think I wrote something 7 or 8 years ago about the fact that there was, I was doing a little hyperbole, but there was class warfare and my class was winning. You know, basically, there's no question that capitalism, as it gets more advanced, will widen the gap between the people that have market skills, whatever that market demands, and others, unless government does something in between, which, say, the earned income tax credit or all kinds of things. And I think that's a proper function. So I would say that if people, it isn't some diabolical plot or anything, but look at it this way. If you go back to 1800 and 80% of the people were farmers, and you were the best farmer in Omaha and I was the worst, the difference in our value might be 2 to 1. You might be worth twice as much if we were out there picking corn or whatever we might be doing or planting. But now there's, we'll say, 2 million times. There's 30 million American males between 20 and 35. And if you're in the top 1/10 of 1% in basketball ability or football ability or baseball ability, you aren't worth anything. If you're in the top 100th of 1%, you're getting close. So if the payoff is huge because some guy discovered television many years ago and another guy discovered pay TV or cable and then pay TV, so that your talents, where Ted Williams got $20,000 a year for batting .406, your talents now, if you make the majors, still doesn't pay well in the minors, but if you finally get to that 1/100th of 1%, now you're worth millions. And 1/10 of 1%, you can just play sandlot ball. And so you get this pushing of extreme rewards to people who are very, very good at something the market demands. And people demand entertainment. They demand people apparently that arbitrage securities. You know, I mean, there's certain specialties, and that isn't because a bunch of people are sitting in a room deciding we're going to figure out how to take it away from the poor or anything like that. It's because of the market system. But we want the market system to keep functioning that way. But we don't want people left behind in a society where you've got $60,000 plus of GDP per capita. And that the people in the lower half have been falling behind the gains overall achieved by the country. And they aren't worse off than they were 20 years ago. They're somewhat better off, and they're better off because of things like an iPhone. I mean, you know, that's something that's terribly useful, and everybody. I get the benefits of search, you know, for nothing, you know, basically. But that's the ultimate tension: is how do you keep a system that produces incredible benefits for everybody? You know, sports is an easy example because we all like to watch them. We don't want to watch a bunch of guys like you and me play basketball. So that's where the money is.
Yeah.
But that didn't exist 200 years ago.
But then how do we address that?
We address it through things like the earned income tax credit. And we address it so that anybody that works 40 hours a week and has a couple of kids, that they don't need a second job in the family. They can have a decent life.
Does that mean increasing the minimum wage?
It means increasing the earned income tax credit,
right,
because I think that's a better system.
Yeah,
what they need is more money in their pocket.
Yeah.
Now you can do more money in the pocket through a minimum wage, but you don't have as many people working.
Yeah.
You need something so they have money in their pocket.
Right.
And we can do that, and that does require in my view, it requires higher taxes on people where they were born into this world with peculiar talents that marvelously now and 200 years ago, they would have been out there picking corn with me.
Can you take the higher taxes on wealthy people and put it directly to the earned income tax credit?
Well, you could.
I mean, because people complain, oh, my taxes are going up. They're squandered.
Nobody likes taxes, obviously.
Yeah, but if you had a program where it was earmarked.
Well, that's what people do when they're on the debate stage. currently it's the Democrats, and they tell you all their new programs and how they'll pay for it, but they don't tell you how they're going to pay for the ones that are already there. Nobody's discussed the $1 trillion deficit we have. So to talk about how you're going to introduce some new, but basically, you don't want to run deficits indefinitely that increase the relationship of debt to GDP. There's some point at which that causes real problems, although we haven't seen it a lot of places that you might expect to see it. But this country has the productive capacity to let people like me live extraordinarily well, or sports stars or entertainment stars, all kinds of good managers, whatever, and still make sure that nobody is really left so that two people have to work and you have to hold two jobs and you wonder how you're going to feed your kids if you're working. $7.50 an hour doesn't do it, and $10 an hour doesn't do it, but we can do it. We have the resources to do it.